Hello, welcome to GMT with me, Tim Wilcox. As President Trump's timetable for withdrawing US troops from Syria continues to change, serious disagreements between Washington and Ankara have emerged. In an apparent snub to John Bolton and the US Chief of Staff, who are in Turkey, President Erdoğan didn't go through with a predicted meeting. And he accused the US National Security Advisor of making a serious mistake over the latest US condition that Kurdish militia, who America had been supporting in Syria, shouldn't be attacked by Turkish forces when and if the US withdraws. Well, Turkey thinks the Kurdish militias are terrorists linked to the PKK. BBC's Selin Gerrit joins us now from Istanbul, and both sides seem completely entrenched in these positions.
They do indeed. Ankara was already frustrated by Mr. Bolton's comments asking Turkey to agree to protect Kurdish YPG forces. And that is apparently why the talks ended abruptly today. Actually, there were two different lines coming from the Washington side and Ankara side. Washington side, National Security Advisor's spokesman said that the dialogue would continue and the talks were productive. However, President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan spoke of completely the opposite. He said Mr. Bolton's comments could not be accepted, could not be swallowed, and we will kill terrorists even if they are Kurds, he said. YPG is a terrorist organization and we will root them out. Kurdish YPG seems to be the reason that has caused the rift between Ankara and Washington yet again.
And Turkey in the last few days is thought to be planning a new ground operation. What is the situation there?
This was already in preparation in December. President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan said that an attack on the Kurdish YPG forces was imminent in December. But then Trump's decision on the 19th of December, Trump's decision to withdraw US troops came. Today, President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan once more repeated that the preparations were completed for an attack against the Kurdish-held east of Euphrates area in northern Syria, and that would be imminent. Apparently, Ankara wants to hold on to that as a bargaining chip, perhaps, against Washington, because that's not what Washington wants to see. Washington wants to reassure Kurds against the Turkish threat so that they don't cozy up to Russia.
And if they don't get those assurances, the Kurds are reported to be in talks with Bashar al-Assad and in Russia and handing over territory to them for protection.
Exactly. That is why people think that has been, and the game has changed. That has been the predominant game changer in this Syria withdrawal plans, because Washington Trump announced his decision. Just after that, YPG, feeling abandoned and facing the Turkish threat, held talks with Moscow and held talks with the Syrian government to protect themselves. But of course, that is not what Washington wants to see. Washington does not want to see that Kurds affiliate themselves with Russia or Syria, and that's why they want to assure them. They want to hold on to the Kurds so that they don't give any territory for Syria or Russia. That is why a really strategical bargaining is taking place. There have been rumors of maps on the table about what to happen, what next in Syria. But apparently, Ankara has been very frustrated and the talks ended abruptly. What will follow next, we don't know. President Erdoğan is threatening an imminent operation against the Kurds.
All right, Selin, thank you very much indeed.
New questions about U.S. policy in Syria. Turkey's president is now slamming President Trump's National Security Advisor John Bolton, who is on a trip overseas. CNN's Nick Robertson is live with the breaking details. What's going on here, Nick?
Yeah, John, Bolton is in Turkey today. He has met with Erdoğan spokesman Kalin. The outcome of that meeting isn't clear. Kalin is expected to speak in a short while, but what is absolutely clear is that Turkey's president is incensed by what John Bolton said when he was in Israel in the past couple of days, that a U.S. withdrawal of troops from Syria would be contingent on Turkey protecting, taking care of the U.S. allies in Syria. Those allies, the YPG, a Kurdish militia that the U.S. has been supporting in its fight against ISIS. The problem for Turkey is it considers the YPG, those Kurdish fighters, to be part and parcel of the Kurdish parties that Turkey has been fighting with for decades. Therefore, they consider them terrorists. So what we've heard from President Erdoğan today is he says what Bolton has said is a serious mistake, is not acceptable. President Erdoğan says he made a deal with President Trump. He says Turkey keeps its deals, it keeps its word, it expects its allies to keep their word as well. So where this seems to be going at the moment seems to be an escalation of tensions between the United States and Turkey. President Erdoğan clearly unhappy that he thinks he got a deal, the U.S. pulling its troops out of Syria. He said that his forces are ready to go in and retake those areas that Kurdish militia, the YPG, that the U.S. has been supporting, that they've been holding. We don't know which direction this is going in at the moment, but clearly John Bolton is right in the middle of it. John, Allison?
Nick, I think that is really significant that Erdoğan says he had a deal with President Trump, because, you know, President Trump has made it sound as though this was his own unilateral decision. He made this promise. The idea, there was always talk that they had a phone conversation, but the idea that Erdoğan saw it as a deal with President Trump is not something that I think the American public necessarily saw it as until now.
No, this is very clearly Erdogan's understanding of the situation. He makes it very clear in what is said today. We keep our word. We expect our allies to keep their word. And indeed, he went further. He went beyond that to say, look, you know, that was an agreement that I made with President Trump, and we still consider President Trump as the point of reference on this. So he's essentially saying not only is Bolton making a serious mistake, but that he is going to ignore whatever John Bolton said.
And that's the problem. The president's words and John Bolton's words right now are not at all in concert.
Nick, thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. My name's Mike. I'm the creator of Mox News. And for the last 15 years, I have been telling you that as long as I have the support of the community that I serve, Mox News will post videos forever. And that's the truth. As long as I have your support, no one could ever make me stop. Unfortunately, currently, less than 1/1% of Mox News viewers ever donate, tip, or contribute anything back. Again, let me make that really clear. Much less than 1/1% ever give anything back. And to those of you who have donated to Mox News, I want to thank you so much, because it's because of your generosity that we have been able to bring attention to important videos that millions and millions of eyes would have never seen. And I think that that's an amazing thing that we've been able to make happen together. And I can't thank you enough for helping me make that happen. So it's not too late. If you'd like to see Mox News covering the 2020 presidential election, if you can't imagine the 2020 presidential election without Mox News, please, there's still time. You can make a difference. It's easy to make a contribution, donation, or tip. You can go to moxnews.com, or in the text body of this video, there are clickable links to the Patreon page or to the PayPal page. And again, it should take less than 2 minutes to make a donation, and your donation can make a big difference. So I thank you all. Stay cool. One of these days this war is going to end, and it would be awesome if Mox News could be there to celebrate that day with you.